Okay, so this is our third ActionMind session, I believe, and we are hanging out today on a Saturday. So I thank you all for hanging out with me today. I'm not sure who else is going to join us, but we are going to rock and roll with who is here. And so I figured, I know last time, I had discussed, maybe coming up with some sort of organization in terms of how each of us can flow through this call or this session. So I just I didn't come up. I researched 3 questions that I know are typical of, masterminding sessions. So I figured maybe we would start there. And then I wanted to kind of walk through something that I've been kind of talking about in the group, a little project that I have started on my end that I think might help everybody. So I guess we'll just start with the answering the 3 questions. What are you working on? What did you learn? And what do you need help with? So I guess I'll kick us off just for the sake of flow. Right now I'm working on what I'm going to share with you guys here in a second, which is really getting the reins of my time, taking control of the reins of my time, because what I noticed for myself is that as I get busier and as I have more ideas and things that I want to execute, it's getting harder and harder to actually execute and keep up with it all. So I figure it's time for me to master my time. So basically what I'm working on is what I want to show you in a bit, which is coming up with a calendar and a schedule that aligns with my goals and really bringing those 2 together so I can actually get stuff done without it being overwhelming and stressful and without the crash and burn. So that's what I'm working on. What I have learned, somebody's hopped on. Hey.
Hi, this is Cherie.
Hey, Cherie. Well, we are just getting started, and we're just kind of going through introductions and what we're working on and all of that fun stuff. So I was just sharing with the ladies what I was working on, which is something that I'm going to share, hopefully, if we have time here, is basically getting control of my time and this little project of bringing my goals and my calendar together so that I can get things done without being overwhelmed and crashing and burning and all of that fun stuff. And then what I learned so far, actually as a result of working on this particular project, is that it will make my life and my business so much easier and better. And not just mine, but hopefully other people's too. So also what I'm learning is how little time I actually have every day to actually do stuff. And it's actually showing me why I feel so crazy and why I feel so like I'm always behind, because, I'm not really clear on how much time I have and I'm not using it effectively. So, and what I need help with, I think I need help with just being accountable and being disciplined to this process and not abandoning ship. I need help with being consistent and staying consistent, because it's really important for what it is that I'm trying to accomplish. So that's me. Who else wants to go? Who wants to go next?
I'll go next.
Okay.
This is Bev. What I'm working on still is all my content is written. I'm happy for that, but then I'm not surprised because, I'm an author, so I can write some stuff. The stuff that's really strangling me, poking me in the eye, and stabbing me in the neck is the tech stuff. So I'm still working, trying to make my lead pages and sales pages look like something that I would like and not this plain template that I got with Web Fusion Pro. Not real happy with that. But what I learned, thank God I have an intern, so I've learned to delegate project tasks. And yesterday I actually acquired an extremely intelligent intern without requesting one.
Oh, my goodness.
Like blown away. face with me and said, I was thinking about you. This is somebody that grew up with my son, and I have fed him, so I'm calling in all my food favors. But he's a graphic design artist. He is a genius with the computer and writing codes. And I told him what I was working on, and he said to me, send me your content for those pages, and I will see what I can do. I'm like, okay, but then I need you to write down what you did because I don't want to be dumb the rest of my life.
Documentation, yeah.
I can move past trying to figure out making them pages attractive and all of that. I'm moving past that. But I changed the title of my my webinar. It came to me, you know, everything come to me in a dream. I know that sounds real crazy, y'all, but in a way I am kind of crazy. And I changed the title of my webinar. I like this one better because it made more sense to me. So it was public speaking, developing public speaking. Hold up, let me pull it up. There I go, I forgot stuff. I need a pill for that one. Okay, let me see. I know. Okay. Building self-confidence in teens by developing leadership skills and public speaking.
Okay.
I figure teens at that time they're developing their leadership skills. We would like to think that our children are going to be leaders. Not everybody's going to be a leader, but there's some out there, and I would like to think that I can tap into that and get them interested that way. So that's what I changed, because to me it made more sense. And then I actually wrote another class. See, I told you I've been writing content. I added another class that includes not only the public speaking, which is huge in it, but also developing leadership skills. So I decided that when my brain is functioning in a certain room, which for me all week, last week was writing, then that's the room I'm working in. And that's what I was doing most last week. So what I need help is always accountability, because I have a tendency to fade off onto another page, and I need to stay focused where I am. My intern is going to be working on my calendar for me. I've got one, but it's like all over the place. And hopefully she can organize it in such a way that my schedule is aligned with my goals.
Okay. Awesome.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Woo, Beverly, you got a lot going on, but I'm excited that you were able to secure help, because doesn't that energize you? You feel like you can get a bunch more stuff done?
Got to be careful, though. I got energized, and you know me, if I get energized, I be adding more stuff to my plate. I'm like, no, leave that over there.
Yeah, that's an issue, too. Absolutely. Okay. So how about you, Renee?
Okay. Well, I'm still working on this e-course, the free version and the paid version, the written content of it. I really think I have the free version that's going to be my lead magnet sign-up list building on my site. I really think I have that down packed, and it's ready to go. My issue is loading it into, I think it is the tech part. I'm not techie at all. So I guess my issue with that is taking down what's up there off of my site now as the lead magnet, putting this up there so that people can see it, and loading it up because it's an e-course that will go out over 5 days. I guess loading that into Aweber properly so that it goes out over the 5 days. And then my second project I'm working on is still with the e-course, but having it so that it's the paid version. So once they sign up for the free version, I'll offer them the paid version, which will be what portions of it, the 5 lessons that are in the free version. But I'm offering a journal and an e-book and more in-depth work, like a workbook, more in-depth involvement with the paid version, where I will also have to do video and guide them with each lesson with the video for the paid version. So it's the free version, the lead magnet free version, and then the paid version is what I'm still working on, mainly the content for the paid version, and also loading that into, I don't know, where would I load the paid version? That would just be a link on my site, or that would be a sales page, right? So I can send them the sales page. That will be the link, and that will have the links to the journal and to the ebook that I'm going to offer, right?
Yeah, we can work through it. Yeah, that's
okay.
Yeah, those are the small details that can hang you up. But yeah, so
okay, so that's where I am with my e-course. I'm still working on that.
Okay, good stuff. I have a feeling a lot of people are still working on their e-courses like me. So, okay, good stuff, Renee. What have you learned as a result of going through this process?
How detailed, like you said, like Beverly said, how detailed all of this is to really put it out right. I mean, I feel it's my brand, it's me, it's me, how I have to do it right, or at least professional enough so that when they get it, I feel good about it that I'm putting out, and then the person who gets it is receiving good value. So all the details. I mean, I've always signed up for, lists. I've always signed on other people's lists, not realizing all the moving pieces that go into just getting someone on your list. And then even these e-courses, I see a lot of people doing them, but never knew the background work that was needed to be put in place for that to seamlessly roll out to me. So I'm really learning how this whole process works. I had no idea it was this involved. I thought it was a click of a button, click, click, click. That's it.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll talk about that today, about how you take your ideas and actually execute them. I think there's always a process. The thinking of the thing is more fun than the actual execution, or at least when you get to a certain point in the execution. It seems like it's like, okay, the fun is over. Now I'm just going to take a nap.
and here's something else that I'm learning. Right, exactly. Take a nap, right? Here's something else that I'm learning about it, and Beverly said it, is that you have to document so that each step, so that when I roll out something else, I'm not, now what did I do with that one? Because your brand changes, you always, have to innovate and improve, and, like the lead magnet I have up there now is not working for what I'm doing now. So maybe what this e-course that I'm working on, maybe I might want to change it up, or maybe I might want to add something different that moves with whatever the brand is going. And so I'm not thinking, okay, I'm going through this stressful process again. Now, how did this work? What did I do? What was AWeber doing for me? And the links, document it so that I know the process, and then grow big enough so that I have the documentation already in place. And as Beverly said, just hand the documentation to an intern or to one of your virtual assistants or whoever you have helping you, and that relieves that stress because it's all documented and they can just roll with it. So the other important thing I'm learning is documentation for each step.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's a really important, maybe I'm going to say this. It's a really important get. So we're going to, I don't know if we'll cover documentation today, but I know at some point we will because it's so important. And I'm itching to get into the Podio stuff, so.
Let me ask one more question. So this documentation is the systemizing, or systemizing, putting systems in place is something different?
It's a part of the systemization. It's like one piece of it. Yeah, but it's a critical component. Like it's all a part of that systemizing of your business.
Okay, good. All right. Thank you. I'll be quiet.
Thank you. No, that was good. Cherie, hey girl, how you doing?
Lovely. How you ladies doing?
Pretty
good.
good.
Cherie, how are you?
Wonderful. Okay, I'll chime in because I didn't really know the protocol. I just knew it was a call today. I didn't even look at see what was going on. But
That's
sounds
okay.
like I'm hearing everybody state what they need, what they're working on, and what they need.
So
And,
so this is developed from last time. So we're answering the questions, trying to get some structure. So answer the question: what are you working on? What did you learn? And what do you need help with?
okay, what I'm working on is creating, getting back into the groove of doing posting, social media posts. I've kind of gotten out of the groove because, I've kind of been out for like almost 2 months because of, I had corneal transplant. And so I'm getting, I'm working on creating some posts, start doing some more marketing of my services. I've created my page and assessment form for people to, to assess people before they actually get a coaching session to see how serious. Because what I don't want is people saying they want help and they're not ready and they really don't know. So I have an assessment. So this will help me determine how I can support them if they're really serious about working with me and moving forward. What I don't like is I don't like to blog. However, understand the importance of blogging. I'm going to blog and I'm going to do a newsletter for the people who are on my who have subscribed to past email and blog posts. But what I learned about coming up with content, and I think that's always kind of been an issue for me, is to look at what I have already created, whether that's content that I've already written, content from some of my products and services, and how to take maybe one line of something that's in there and create content. And it's kind of been amazing for me, and I've learned kind of a format how to do that. And so I'm going to try that today. And so that kind of takes the pressure off, okay, what do I want to write? Well, let's take something that I already have and expand on it.
Absolutely.
So,
that's good.
Yeah. So were you going to say something?
Yeah, I was going to ask, is there anything that you need help with at the moment?
Yes. I think what I need help with, I have a concept of a new newsletter that I want to call it, and I have a couple of names, so I like to be able to throw out and see what you ladies think, what sounds might be striking. So when we get to that point, then I like to be able to do that.
Okay, awesome. Well, somebody's coming on. Okay. This is good stuff. All right. So what I figure, well, one of the things that I wanted to kind of show you guys really quick was give you a little bit of what I've been working on in case it helps in any way, because I know it's been helping me. And it kind of aligns with the whole we talked about just a second ago about how you have ideas and how some of those ideas kind of get caught up or snagged when it comes to executing them. And a lot of us have things on our plate that, the concept of it is really awesome, but the execution of it, as you dig deeper, like Renee was saying, as you dig deeper into the thing, it seems like it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and the project seems to like have this, never-ending theme to it, where it's like, is this thing going to ever end? Am I going to ever be done with this? Or at least, get to the part where it's just all about marketing it and promoting it or whatever. Somebody just came on. Hey. Or did we lose somebody? Either somebody came on or we lost them. If you came on, I don't know if you're muted. Just say hey.
I'm muted. I was muted. Good morning, Kenya. It's Khadijah.
No problem. Good morning, Khadijah.
Good morning.
Well, we were just going round table, sharing what we were working on, what we've learned, and what we need help with. So if you want to kind of do your part, I know we've all kind of shared. So if you want to share what you're working on, what you learned, and what you need help with.
I haven't worked on anything, which is why I'm on the call.
I doubt that.
Well, okay. Not that I'm not working on anything, but specific to the last call, because I wasn't on the call last time, but I was on the first call.
Yeah.
And the thing that I wanted to be held accountable for, I guess, was to do videos to accompany the 7-day Money Love Journey and then have the PDF so that people didn't have to go get their own personal journal if they didn't want to, right? Because some people just don't want to do that. I don't want to write in a journal. I don't want to do none of that. All right, here's the PDF for you so that you don't have to buy anything separate. Because if it's free, it's free. So I haven't worked to do any of the videos as of yet. That's why I'm on the call, so I can be publicly held accountable for, all right, I'm going to at least record the welcome video. But I do have a question about how you create your PDF so that it's a downloadable PDF.
Mhm.
So,
Well, go ahead.
No, I'm finished. I don't want to talk too much.
Oh, no, you're fine. No, you can't talk too much. How'd you convert? I'm just typing with you. So really quickly on that, are you creating your PDF in like a Word format? Like you're creating it in like a word processor or whatever. You're creating the actual document. Okay. There are a couple of ways. Now, sometimes computers come with some sort of software, so you can like actually, like for mine, if I wanted to, and I don't know if you're on the screen, but
I am.
Okay. So like what I could do is I could save my document as, and I could save it as a PDF. So you know how to, well, let me just ask you this. Do you know how to convert it into a PDF already?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you know how to convert it into a PDF. You're just wanting to know how do you get it to where people can actually download it.
Correct.
Okay. So you have WordPress, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So the simplest way would be to just go into like your WordPress back end, and let me see if my computer is going to be lightning fast today. Let's see. Okay, so basically the easiest way would be just to, you can just log in and you can go to media, add new, and then just upload your document from your computer. I'm just going to upload anything. Go.
Oh,
Okay.
I didn't realize it was that easy.
Yeah, you can just upload it to your actual WordPress, and so it'll like pop up here, and then you'll just need to get the link, and if you click that edit button, it'll open up all of this, and here's the link here. So you just copy that, and you can bit.ly it, shorten it, and put it in
Right.
like your email or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, it's just as simple as that. And I think Renee has got kicked off. So you could do that, or you can, there's a more, I guess, involved way where you can host your files on Amazon S3, but I think the simplest way would just be to do it here.
No, I like that. That's simple because I'm familiar with like uploading stuff to, because I was working on like an academy behind the scenes, and I was able to upload like audio files, just how you're saying do it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That works for me. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So I wanted to quickly kind of go through this, I don't know if you want to call it a training, but I basically wanted to kind of share, I think this is Renee coming back on. I wanted to share something that I was working on. So before you got on, Khadijah, early on, I was sharing what I was working on, which was bringing together my calendar, my schedule for the day with what I want to accomplish in my business and in life in general. And so I was trying to bring that together because what was happening for me, and I think I've talked to a lot of people, and I know this is a common thing for us, is that, we set a goal, we set something that we want to do, whether it's create an e-course, products, whatever, videos, all of that kind of stuff, and just life or, day-to-day, whatever gets in the way, and then, next thing you know, a week has gone by, 2 weeks, a month, or whatever, and that one thing that we wanted to get done has not gotten done. And so I know that my time, as I get busier, it's getting squeezed. So what I wanted to do is just something that came to me. I knew that I needed to kind of get my time together. And some of you went through the M3 Mastery course that I did a while ago. And I don't know, I think this is a bit of a 2.0 of a little bit of what we discussed in there. Because I know we could do goal setting, we could do time management, and a lot of times we do those separately. But for me, I was like, why not bring that together? Why not bring, okay, I got to manage my time, but I also have these other goals that I want to accomplish. How can I bring those two together to make sure that, everything flows? So one of the things, Renee, are you there? I think she's having like some computer
I
stuff.
am, and for some reason I keep trying to log in. I haven't seen anything on screen.
I'm sorry.
Me out.
Okay. Well, I'll let you back in, so you should be able to see something now.
Yeah, it says mine is paused, too.
Mine's thing, too.
Yeah, mine also.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
There it goes. There it goes.
I'm doing all this stuff on my computer, and you guys can't see anything. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
So this is kind of what I wanted to kind of show you guys. And by the way, as we were talking about what you wanted and what you needed, I was putting together a little document that I figured I would share after we're finished. Where did it go? So, Khadijah, you didn't see
Yeah, but because I'm familiar, like I said, I was working on something behind the scenes. You don't have to go back over that. Mm-hmm.
Can you go back over it so I can see it? Sorry, Khadijah.
No. No problem. So what I was showing her was that if you wanted to upload a link, like you wanted to upload a document so that people could download it, all you needed to do was go into your WordPress backend. You go to this media over here, and it will allow you to upload a file. So you just select files. You would select a file from your computer, and then you would, it would pop up here, okay? And then if you click Edit, it will open up this little screen here, and then all you would need to grab is this file URL to the file here so that people could access it. And then you could actually use that and shorten it with like a link shortener like Bitly or some other link shortener, and then you use that and paste that into your email or, wherever you're putting that for people to access it and download it to their computer.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does make sense, and lets me know I need WordPress training.
That's okay. There's so many. Yeah, I know it doesn't. There's so many little details, right? So yeah, I mean that's the easiest way to get a download link, to get people to download and access your document. So what I wanted to talk about really quick is this idea of bringing your goals and your time and your calendar, time management together. And so we were talking earlier, Renee, you had mentioned about documentation and how that fits into the overall picture. Is that a part of the system? Is it system? That kind of thing. So basically what I've identified as I've been doing this is that every business needs three things, and they really kind of serve as a foundation that you build on. So you need a system, business system. And I got this from T. Harv Eker. I don't know if many of you are familiar with him, but he's like this author. He does great stuff when it comes to you guys have heard of him?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So he had this system that he did, this talk called, I forgot what it was called, I can't even think of it right now, but he talked about having a business system, and a business system he defined as a repeatable process that produces profit. So in our businesses, we need processes that we can repeat over and over again that will produce profit. And it's systematic. It's basically a system of mechanized or automated operations that we produce, that we perform in order to actually create something or produce something. And so that repeatable, that mechanized or automated process is basically a routine. So it's something that we regularly follow, a sequence of actions that we regularly follow on a consistent basis to help us produce profit, to help us get the result that we want. And part of that is creating what Renee was talking about and Beverly was talking about is documentation. I'm not really getting into that today, but I just wanted to kind of highlight that. And that's just basically once you figure out what the routine is, you are documenting that routine so that you can actually repeat it, or you can hire somebody like what Beverly is doing to pick up the pieces or train or to help you keep what you're doing in your head together so you don't have to reinvent the wheel or keep a bunch of stuff in your head. You can get it out and be able to kind of refer to it as you build your business or as things change. So those are kind of the three things that I realized, like for me, and I think for all of us, we absolutely need in place. So the other part to this was, okay, so we're bringing goal setting, the things that we want to do, whether, and it could be a big goal, it could be, okay, I need to make money, it could be, I need to create this product, whatever that goal is, together with how much time you have to actually do it. And so as I was looking at my life, I have 3 kids, they're in school, all of this stuff, and there's just stuff that I absolutely have to do every day. I can't get around it. And all of us, we have stuff that we absolutely have to do every day. So I call these your non-negotiables. So, you got to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or at least you should. You're going to need time for your prayer, your meditation, to kind of get ready for the day. Grocery shopping, doctor's appointments, maybe some of us have day jobs or part-time jobs, those kinds of things. People you have to pick up, drop off, all of that kind of stuff. Those are things that are part of our day that we just absolutely have to do. There's really no getting around it. And so what I figured was, okay, I will start my calendar by highlighting in red those things. And so in order to do my calendar, I just decided that I would just manually do it before I even put it on a real calendar, just kind of manually sketch it out. So basically I just put, like, okay, what I need to do. These are my non-negotiables. I can't get around that. I can't put any business stuff. I can't put any client stuff in these time slots. This is just dedicated to that. Without that, what I would be trying to do is get up and try to squeeze business stuff in and checking emails and all of that kind of stuff, which just made me crazy and rattled to even start my day. So anyway, so you put that in there in red. And then the next thing I figured, okay, so I know what I have to do every day that I can't get around, but I also know things that I ideally want to do. I know what my goals are. So I figured once you get your non-negotiables in the calendar and you know what times they are in, it opens up for you the other pockets of time that you have. So it's like, okay, now I'm going to look at my goals. What is it that I actually want to accomplish in my business? And in terms of goals in our businesses, we typically have, I know some of you have heard like the term, the revenue generating activities, like you need to spend, 20% of your time to get 80% of the results or something like that, the 80-20 rule. So you need to have, revenue generating activities, so things that you absolutely need to do that will bring money into your business. And then passive activities or passive marketing, which is like stuff that once you do it, it can continue to work to bring money, but it's not necessarily directly going to bring money in right now. So those are the things. And I had to highlight that because typically what happens is, and I know for me, we get caught up on the things that are passive, and we get stuck there because, it takes a lot of time. Like for blogging, for example, blogging is a passive activity because once you set it up, people can find that blog, especially if it's tied to some product or service, people can find it and buy and sign up. That can constantly bring in leads and generate sales for you over and over again. But the strategies and the things that it takes to actually set it up won't necessarily, like if you write a blog today, it won't necessarily mean that you'll get a client today from it. It could, but it's not necessarily that quick. A revenue-generating activity, for example, would be connecting with a certain amount of people, like calling, directly contacting, whether it's via email, whether it's actually picking up the phone and calling people to actually present your business or create that relationship that can turn into a client, because that's something you can measure. I talked to 5 people this week. 2 of the people I talked to actually bought something. That can actually be mapped back to your money. So you kind of highlight those. So basically, you identify your goals. So when you talk about goal setting, you say, let me just show you this. So if I say, I want to make $10,000 a month, or I want to add 20 people to my list. Let's just start with the list building thing because that's easier. I kind of started building that out already. So if you say I want to add 20 people to my list every month, so you then go down and say, okay, if I want to add 20 people to my list every month, what do I need to do to make that happen? What strategy can I use to make that happen? And let's say you decided, okay, I'll use my own self as an example. I want to do a monthly live webinar, and I want to use my podcast to do that. So I'm going to come down here, and this is kind of raw. I'm still working out. I just want to show you kind of how this thought process is breaking down in my head. So I know that I want to add 20 people to my list. And I know that I want to do a podcast. These are my options. I can do a podcast, I can do a live monthly webinar, and I can create a free offer. Those are the 3 things that I'm identifying that I want to do. So the thing is, kind of what Renee, what you talked about is, if you say, and even Khadijah, you say, I want to do this thing, and that thing requires specific things that you have to do. So I want to do an e-course, and that e-course is broken up into steps. So you got to plan it, what you want to do, kind of the challenge breaks down all of those steps. You got to create it. You got to do the videos. You got to write the content. All of that stuff requires different steps. Usually what we do, or what we try to do, is we try to do everything or do as much as we can in like a day on that particular project. So so I know that I'm going to create an e-course, so I start to try to write it, and I just try to do everything that I can do on that e-course within a day or within that week. Okay, that's my ambition. But then let's say you're successful and you record all your videos or you write all your content. What else in your life are you neglecting as a result of you just, kind of doing a bunch of stuff all at once? You know what I mean? Like for me, I can neglect things because I'm like, okay, I'm just going to focus on this, and then I can do that other thing on my to-do list later, which means that you're getting behind and you're overworking yourself because you're going to crash and burn because you dedicated so much energy to this one thing, and now it's like by the end of the week, it's almost like you don't even want to look at it anymore, or you don't have any more brain cells to do the next piece. So you get stuck, you get stalled, and that thing gets put off. So I was thinking if you do it this way, you identify your goal, you break down as much as you know that you need to do to complete that goal. So let's take, my podcast, for example. I know I want to do a weekly podcast, and I know that there are different things that I have to do. I have to outline the episode. I have to record the episode. I might have to find guests. I might have to, all the little pieces that it takes to actually put that together. Once I know my task, once I know what's involved, I can go back to my calendar, wherever that is. Where is it? No, that's not it. I can go back to the little calendar that I was putting together and start popping in spaces over, the course of different weeks, the different tasks that I need to do to actually produce that. So I put them in their own time slot. Like I basically am making an appointment with myself to get that particular piece done, right? So I just put that in my calendar. And the same thing with everything else. Like you go through your goals and you just kind of try to find places where it fits. And so that way, if I know I'm doing an e-course and I have all these pieces, I can use, a certain day of the week to actually plan it. I can use a certain day of the week and a certain time of the week to write, my content. And I can just spread it out over a certain period of time so that by the time I get to the end, it's done. And it's not like I neglected other things. I was able to get it done little by little. I didn't overwhelm myself. It's on my calendar, so I know I'm going to get it done. And so the ultimate idea here is that once you set up your calendar, you can actually transfer this to your actual digital calendar that you use every day, whether that's in Podio, whether it's Google Calendar, whatever calendar you're using. You can plug these things in so that, if you wake up, you open up your calendar, you see what's on there. Okay, this is what I'm doing for this today, and you just do that. And it's not in your head, it's on your calendar, and you just do it. And it's not like it's going to overwhelm you. So this is kind of my idea. So, and so there also are going to be like gray areas. So like on my calendar, for example, for my life, if I have lunch and I have this whole car sharing situation, so I might have to go pick up somebody for lunch, bring them home, all of that kind of stuff. So it's a bit of a gray area because I may or may not have, an hour for lunch or, within this window because I'm picking up and dropping off people. I might be able to get something done within that window, but it can't be like a hard, I can't depend on that. So I use that as a gray area. So in the gray areas, it's like, okay, I may or may not be able to get something done. So that's kind of open. Whatever thing that's kind of laying out there that you can get done, that's just extra time that you can use. And so basically, once you kind of go through this. You map out your non-negotiables, you map out your goals, and you identify the tasks that you need to do to accomplish those goals, and you kind of plug them in where they need to be in your wiggle room. Once you identify that, then you can just basically implement it. And I just put like this last thing here as a practical tip. You can use it or not use it. But for me, I need to use a timer, because if I start working on a task and I get really involved in it, it's easy for me to go from the 1 hour that I'm supposed to be dedicated to focusing on that to 2 hours, depending on what it is. I could spend 4 hours. Like if it's a website, I could spend 4 hours easily working on a website. You know what I mean? So just to make sure that I stay within that time frame of working on that particular thing that I'm supposed to be working on in that particular time slot, I'll use a timer to make sure that, okay, once it dings, it's time to move on to the next thing. So this is just kind of how I feel like I have to practically build my goals into my time, because I have so little of it. Like as I mapped out my time, I realized I have like maybe 4 hours a day to really work on things, client and my business. And so I have to strategically use those and it's not 4 hours straight. It's like maybe an hour here, 2 hours here, 30 minutes here, so I have to be able to make sure I'm using that time effectively. And the only way for me to do that is to identify what it is I have to do and strategically place those things in those time slots so I can make sure that I get it done. So, I mean, it's a little bit I don't know. You guys tell me. I don't know if this makes sense, and I don't know if you feel like you can use it. But I wanted to share it with you because I know it was so powerful for me to see how I can actually, take something from just something I want to do in my head and getting burned out trying to do everything at once to really making sure that I can get it done without being stressed out by the end of the week. So I'll leave that there, and then I'll open up the floor, and then we can go through everything else that we need to finish up before we leave here today.
Well, this is Renee. I'll say this. That is very ambitious. And I could see how it could work. But my question is, how long does that take to put together? And is that just for a month? Like what you showed, is that a month? Is that a week? 2 months? What was that you just showed?
Well, this is basically I'm going on my goals, my immediate goals. So it looks kind of crazy because you see everything that I have in here, and it's not that it's not that hard. Because if you start off with your routine task and then you go to your goals and you look at what it takes to accomplish each goal, like if you're going to do an e-course, you're going to have to do the stuff to build the e-course anyway. And if you're running into a situation where you have things that you want to actually do to create that e-course or to extend it or to tweak it or whatever, and for whatever reason you're not getting those things done, 9 times out of 10, it's a timing issue. You're doing other things, and it's not that you don't have time to do those other things. It's not that you don't have time to do the things associated with getting your e-course done. It's just that it's not really built into your schedule, so it's like you kind of do it if you have the time, and if you don't have the time, then you don't do it. And so basically, what I started off with is, okay, non-negotiables. I know that, like, I have an ActionMind group, the ActionMind group. I know that I have to post there every day. So I put that in there where I kind of want to make sure I get that in. And then I know I have to do client work every day, right? So I put the client work in there in time slots where I feel like would be best for me to work on client work. And then I decide, okay, so if I'm doing mostly client work through the week, then maybe I'll take Friday for my business. And so I'll primarily do my stuff on my business. So then that means like all the stuff that I mapped out in terms of my tasks, I will just plop them in on Friday. And I'll say, okay, I'll do my blog post on Friday. And it may not be every Friday. So, like, I might use one Friday to just dedicate to recording my podcast. I might use, like, the last Friday of the month to write, like, 4 blog posts. But the only way that this works is if you do the goal-setting piece and you outline the things that you need to do. So, like this, all I'm doing here is taking my tasks and putting them in my calendar for when I'm going to do these. Does that make sense? I know it looks scary. It's not as scary as it looks.
Yes, that helps. It just looks like a lot of work up front. I mean, I would be willing to try it because I need structure like that because I'm always, like you said, I work on something, then I'm overwhelmed, and I'm so stressed out from that nothing else gets done. That it also is important. So I would be willing to try this. It just looks like it's a lot to set up. I mean, I would have to sit down and think everything that I do during the day and map it out. But, I mean, how's it working for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think you can do this whole exercise in like a day. Like you can take a day and you can sit down and you can do it. I just started this the other day and I haven't had a whole day to actually do it because my boys came home and I've been doing this whole birthday celebration for the weekend. And again, I'm sure it looks scary because you're seeing this as I'm creating it. So it's probably really ugly. But I just kind of wanted to give you the concept of it. And I'll probably do another streamline training where it actually feels easier to walk through the steps. But this is just the down and dirty version of it. Because I know, like, we get tied up with all of the details. Like, that's the details of the projects that we have to do. That's where things kind of get tied up, snagged up. So I know, I've come to know, like, all the different things that I have to do, and it's a lot. And you don't have to do, like, individual things. Like, I can outline my episode. I can choose my keywords. I can, whatever else. And, you can chunk them and do, like, I can outline my episode, choose my keywords, and do something else all in one sitting. Like, you know what I mean? You just kind of start to chunk them so you can do different things. So it's not like you're taking each task and like, I'm going to work my keywords and I'm going to do this for an hour. Like you can, but it's just a way to organize the things that you have to do to help you actually get to the thing that it is you want to set up, if that makes sense. So anyway.
That helps. So you're showing us this so that we can try it. Okay, so that's a Word document that you've just done, and then we just take it and put it into our own calendar, like Google Calendar or something like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna this is just the mapping of it. That's why it's ugly and that's why it looks crazy because you're just mapping everything out. Like I'm just literally taking everything that I know and putting it into my calendar, and I'm moving things around so that I can see, like, okay, at 8 o'clock, I ideally want to work on this. Every other Monday, I'm going to work on this. So you're just kind of plugging things in here based on what you know to see how it fits, and then you just kind of transfer it to your calendar. And so the things that are repeating, you would just, put it in your calendar and it will repeat. And the things that are, you're just going to do this 1 week and, bi-weekly or whatever, you know what I mean? So I will have to massage it so that I could actually show you guys step by step so when maybe it wouldn't feel overwhelming.
Okay.
But I know this is really ugly because I'm doing this. I'm showing you as I'm doing it. But I just wanted to kind of show you what I was working on if at any point you felt like it would be something that you might want to adopt for what it is you're trying to do.
Okay, that's helpful, yes.
Yeah. So did I lose anybody or did I put everybody to sleep?
No, it's good stuff. It's good stuff, Kenya. Very good stuff. I I'm a person, I like to write things down. And I use a day-to-day, and I also use a month at a glance. But I put the month at a glance up on a wall, so that as I'm doing things, I can, it's in my face, so to speak. And then every morning I grab the day-to-day, and, as I schedule things, I can just open it up and say, okay, today I've got, X, Y, and Z. But what I realized when you were talking is that the reason why I haven't done the videos, is because I haven't scheduled it in.
Yep.
It's just floating around in my mind. Okay, yeah, I need to do such and such and so, but all right, as soon as the thought hits your mind, grab the calendar and write it in there. Okay, today I'm going to record one video. Just as I do anything else.
Yep. Yeah, and I think that is really the basic concept. And I just did a podcast interview with a lady by the name Dee Bolton. She actually just joined the group. And her whole thing is organization and time management. And one of the things she talked about when we were interviewing is that there are, I think, 3 or 4 different personalities that people have when it comes to organization and planning and all of that kind of stuff. And based on how you based on your personality will determine how you approach doing your calendar. Some people do, like you said, Khadijah, you have a day planner and you have a wall planner, and that works for how you can actually organize your life and your stuff. And some people use what I'm doing and map it out in this way. And some people, have they need a little bit of both. If they don't need to be that hardcore about it, but, they need some structure to actually, move through it. And so I think, this process is going to be largely determined by what actually works for you. But I think, like Khadijah said, the biggest thing, I guess the biggest concept here is it's really simple, actually. It's just to schedule in the stuff that you need to do that are related to, your projects that you're trying to accomplish, and make it like an appointment with yourself so that you can actually wake up and say, okay, this is what I'm doing today. And then by the end of the week, it's done without you kind of looking back and man, I know I had it in my head to do it, but I didn't get it done.
Right.
So yeah, I think that's the basic premise of it all.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, like I said, for me, it's just accountability and setting this up. And then Beverly and oh my goodness, my brain is dying on me. Renee, you had technology stuff that you needed help with, and I think because that stuff, we can kind of ActionMind on that in the group a little bit more, because I know it might be a little bit more involved. And then Cherie, you had some ideas, or you wanted to share with us some naming things in terms of the newsletter that you were creating. So you want to hit us with that?
Yeah, well, as a matter of fact, I took the time to post it in the group.
Oh,
in
you
our,
did?
Yes, and I thought that would be better if you could go there and take a look and vote.
Awesome.
That way, you can actually. I'm a visual person, so.
No, that's good. Okay. So you got her exit strategy power line. Okay, that's good stuff. Yeah, I think I like the power line because it's different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was different too.
Yeah.
Does anybody else look at it?
Yeah, I'm looking now.
Maybe on your computer? Okay.
Yeah, I just voted for what I like.
Okay. Thank you.
Awesome. So, yeah, I mean, I think, well, that's all I have to share. Anybody else wanted to highlight or add or ask a question?
And what I want to also, ask when I'm thinking about, I haven't done actual newsletter in a while, but, when I used to do it, I started out with, just something a little personal, and then, I had my my topic or my subject that I want to highlight. Then I would have, also like any, well, of course, now I have 2 books. One, the book is called Her Exit Strategy, The Working Woman's Freedom Plan to Live Your Big Vision. And then I'm a part of another book called Cultivating Your It Factor. So I thought that, I would have, always just have those books, on there, and then maybe some, maybe a little tip or a little inspiration of something that, that I actually come up with.
Yeah.
And so really using, as part of my brand, her exit strategy. And I think that's what I'm going to really be focusing on, helping women, with their exit strategy as professional and aspiring, women who really want to build their business while they work. And so what in my vision is, when I think of exit strategy, not just, of course, creating an exit plan. What do I need to do? How do I build my business? Some things that I really need to have in place and all those kind of things. But also, exiting the mindset, out of the mindset, the employee mindset, if you will, into an entrepreneur mindset. Out of the mindset negativity into a positive mindset. So it's always something that you're going to be exiting out of so that you can enter into your big vision.
That's good. So
that
your layout. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought I heard somebody say something. I was just going to try to shut up before I started talking. Was somebody trying to say something?
Yeah. Please, feedback.
Yeah, so what all of that sounds great, and I wanted to highlight to you too that let me ask you this. What program, what email software are you using to do your newsletter?
MailChimp.
Okay. Because I wanted to kind of let you know there actually, and you probably already know this, there's 2 ways that you can do your newsletter.
Okay.
You can do a manual newsletter, and you can do an automated newsletter. So, so you have, like, your manual newsletter is kind of basically what you're outlining. I don't even know if I have somebody that I asked in MailChimp.
Yeah, because when you say manual, that kind of loses me. I'm not really sure what that.
Yeah. So let me see if I can just kind of give you. I'm just going to use this sample account just to kind of show you. So like your manual newsletter is kind of like what you were just explaining to me. Like you're basically probably going to have, going to MailChimp, you're going to build like a template for yourself.
Yeah.
And let's see. And then from that template, you are going to create your newsletter. So you would basically, like, however often you're going to create it, like say, if it's weekly or biweekly, you would go in, like say if it was biweekly, you would go in every other week and you would, type your message or, whatever you want to type, add in there, and then you would send it.
Right.
And then the automated newsletter obviously is automated, and that basically works by you, and it's actually in your MailChimp. It's going to be called an RSS-driven campaign. And
Yeah.
Are you familiar with that one?
I know RS, but I'm not too familiar how that works.
Yeah, so the RSS, the way that works is you basically type in your, and I actually got a better one. You're going to type in your blog. I'm trying to get out of here. If you're going to type in your blog, oh crap. Basically, you're going to add your blog feed, which is called your RSS. You're going to add your blog feed to MailChimp. And basically what it's going to do is it's going to pick up anytime you post. So you basically are going to tell it, say I want my subscribers to get my newsletter every 2 weeks.
Okay.
I did not mean to go there. So basically you're going to set up your settings. You're going to feed your blog into, why does this keep doing that? I can't type. You're gonna feed your blog into the settings in your MailChimp. You're gonna tell it that I want this to publish every 2 weeks. And then so every time you post a blog, it's going to basically archive that, hold it, and so every 2 weeks it's going to publish a feed to your subscribers in the version of a newsletter that will feed them whatever new content you have on your blog.
Okay. So let me make sure I understand this. I would create a template, which would be an RSS template, and would that template normally be like look like, I guess, based on what I choose the template, however I want the look. But what it's going to do is whatever I create as a blog in my WordPress, that it's going to automatically formulate into the RSS template.
Right. And I'm trying to find one so you can see what it looks like, because I did one in MailChimp before.
It's a lot of work, because what I was thinking, I was going to have to do the blog post in my WordPress, and then turn around, go in into MailChimp, and try to put that in again into the newsletter.
Mhm.
Shoot,
yeah.
Too much work. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, because with and I'm sorry, I'm trying to find it. Where is it?
Interesting.
Crap. Where is it? Basically, oh wait, where is it? I think I created it. Can't remember where it is. Yeah, because that is, I think I created that today. Basically with the RSS feed, you could go in and manually add something before it goes out. But typically with the automated newsletter, it would just go out automatically. Like it wouldn't need you to actually go in. I guess you could go in, specify how often you would want to go in and add a personal message, or you can have a standard message and the content on your blog serves as the update. And you can also set it up where your books are in there too. So just like you could set up a manual template, and I don't know, I mean, a manual newsletter is great. It's just, you just have to figure out, what would be easiest for you, because, just anything you're doing manually is just going to require you to actually dedicate time to be committed to making sure you go in and you get it sent out.
And as I said, that I actually want to be able to maybe put some tips or some inspiration and add some stuff. So I don't know if the RSS would actually work, if it's going to automatically be going out, not unless I can remember to go in there and keep changing. Some stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, that would be the only thing. Like you would. Because if the blog newsletter is going to be automated, you could set it up. I mean, it does allow you to set it up where you can actually go in and change messages and stuff. But like you said, you would have to remember to go in and change it, whereas you might as well just do a manual newsletter. But I wanted to show you the options just so you know. But what you could do is if you're going to do, like you could do like your manual newsletter, say you do your manual newsletter bi-weekly.
Yes.
You could also do the blog newsletter in between that. So then it would be, it would be like you have a weekly newsletter. It's just that you have this personal sharing one, you know. So, I mean, it's just options for you to think about.
Okay.
So you can start off with a manual one, and if you wanted to add a blog, or you could do a manual one like once a month, where anybody that may have missed your blog post that you did for that month could get them in that one email.
Okay. Okay.
So those are just some options, but I just wanted to, you know, let you know that there are two different ways that you can do it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
So do you have it?
Go ahead.
Okay. I was just going to ask you. I know. Do you have an example of one that you?
Well,
done?
this I can just show you. That's what I was trying to do the whole time, but my brain wasn't working while I was talking. Let's see. I mean, this is just a simple version, so this is not. I want campaign and it is on here. Now, this is just a simple one from a simple template in MailChimp. So it's just a one-column one. But, you know, this is just her email that will come out every time she posts to her blog.
Okay. Okay. I see.
So it's simple. But, you know, if you want, like, they have them in here where you could do, they have different ones set up. So whatever one you choose, like you could choose one with a column over here or whatever. You can put your products because that's going to automatically be there every time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this would be the automated one. This is not the manual one. This would be an automated one.
Okay.
And so, I mean, this is just one. And I don't know, do I have somebody else that has one? Yeah, but, you know, basically this is just a short and dirty version of what it would look like, and this is how it would come. And you could, like, I could easily add, like, a block up here, and she could, like, type her individual message or, you know, customize it however. But she would have to remember to come in before it actually went out and add that.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
So, you're welcome. All right. So, yeah, so did anybody else have anything they wanted to ActionMind on?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay. Cool. So I think we got some stuff done today.
You did. Been very helpful, Kenya. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So, and I mean, I think we're getting some structure. I'm not sure what we're going to do for our next challenge. And I know last time we kind of talked about the different things. So I think what I'll do is just pull from the ideas that we shared last time and just, you know, do like Cherie just did and put a poll in there to see what people want to do next. Because I know the e-course thing probably seems like it's going to go on for a while. before we actually get into the marketing stuff. So we'll put that in there, and I guess that's it. We can go on and have the rest of our Saturday to relax and chill. I have a birthday celebration to do with my oldest son, and we went swimming for the last 2 days, and I didn't realize that swimming makes you tired. Because I can't swim, and so, I just kind of, even just sitting in the water and, just the energy that it takes, I was just so exhausted. I was like, oh, man, I don't think I can do this every day. So I think today I'm going to find something low-key for us to do because I'm exhausted. So, yeah. That is all for today, ladies. So thank you for hanging out with me. Do you guys want me to post this or send this to you? This is just from what we talked about today. And maybe it'll help us remember what we talked about we were working on so we can hold each other accountable.
I would like to see it. I would like it posted so I can download it.
Yeah.
Okay. All righty. Okay, well, you ladies have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and we will connect in the group.
All right.
You too. Enjoy. Happy birthday to your son.
Okay, thanks.
Bye.
Bye.